Before a child speaks their first word, before they can tie their shoes or write their name, their brain is already forming over 1 million neural connections per second. These early moments, often invisible to the outside world, shape everything that comes after: how a child relates to others, how they learn, how they regulate their emotions, and how they view the world. Yet so many early struggles go unnoticed. Temper tantrums that seem excessive. Delays in walking or talking. Sleep disruptions. Feeding challenges. Behavioral outbursts in daycare. To some, these are dismissed as just a phase. But for others, they are red flags. And when they go unaddressed, children can fall behind socially, emotionally, developmentally. That's why we created the McCrory Center's Infant and Early Childhood Mental Health Program. To make sure no struggle is ignored, no child is overlooked, and no parent is left without guidance. In this video, we take you behind the scenes of our groundbreaking work with babies, toddlers, and preschoolers. You'll learn what infant mental health really means, why it matters, and how families can access compassionate, science-backed support starting from day one. Welcome to Healing Early Minds. What is infant and early childhood mental health? Infant and Early Childhood Mental Health, IECMH, focuses on the emotional, social, and cognitive well-being of children from birth to age 5. It's about more than diagnosing or labeling, it's about understanding. How does a child manage frustration? How do they bond with caregivers? Do they respond to emotional cues? Are they learning to trust, explore, and express themselves? Healthy mental development in early childhood sets the foundation for lifelong well-being. Research shows that children who receive early support are more likely to thrive in school, develop strong relationships, and maintain good mental health into adulthood. The McCrory Center uses a relationship-based model. We support both the child and the caregiver because the bond between them is the most powerful tool for healing. We work with infants experiencing sleep or feeding difficulties, excessive crying or irritability, delayed developmental milestones, attachment disruptions due to foster care, adoption, or trauma. And with toddlers and preschoolers facing aggressive behavior, separation anxiety, speech or language delays, emotional withdrawal. We don't see these as isolated problems, we see them as windows into a child's inner world. And we help parents and caregivers understand what their child is trying to communicate. Why the early years are so critical. The first 5 years are a period of rapid brain development. In fact, 90% of brain growth happens before kindergarten. This is when children learn how to form secure attachments, develop language and communication, regulate emotions, explore and play, build self-awareness. Experiences during this time, both positive and negative, have lasting effects. Early trauma, neglect, or chronic stress can rewire the developing brain. But the opposite is also true. Nurturing relationships, stability, and responsive care can build resilience and restore balance. That's why we prioritize early identification and early intervention. Waiting until a child enters school can mean missing critical windows for support. At the McCrory Center, we act early, often before problems fully emerge. Our goal is not just to treat symptoms, but to lay the groundwork for lifelong wellness. A day at the McCrory Center, what support looks like. What does infant and early childhood mental health care actually look like in practice? At the McCrory Center, we tailor our approach to each family's unique needs. A typical day might include a home visit with a family and their 18-month-old, observing feeding and play routines. A clinic-based session where a toddler works through separation anxiety with a trained specialist, a developmental screening using standardized tools like the Ages and Stages questionnaire, a parent coaching session on managing tantrums or sleep issues, a play-based therapy session helping a child recover from early trauma. A consultation with preschool staff to support classroom behavior. These sessions are grounded in evidence-based frameworks, including infant mental health, home visiting, trauma-informed care, reflective parenting, developmental relational therapy. Our clinicians include infant mental health specialists, clinical psychologists, behavior analysts, licensed clinical social workers. Most importantly, every session is rooted in compassion and respect. We meet families where they are emotionally and geographically, and walk with them through each step of their journey. Meet the experts, who we are. Behind every success story is a dedicated professional who believed in a child's potential. Our team includes licensed and credentialed specialists with decades of combined experience in early childhood development, trauma recovery, parent-child attachment, applied behavior analysis. Meet just a few of our staff. Tammy R. McCrory, MA, LLP, BCBA, founder and clinical leader. Tammy brings over 15 years of experience in maternal infant health, trauma-informed care, and public health leadership. Psychologist name placeholder, a licensed clinical psychologist with a focus on early intervention in parent-child relationships. IMH specialist placeholder, a certified infant mental health home visitor with expertise in developmental delay and family systems. Our team doesn't just serve families, we partner with them. We believe healing happens in relationship, and that every caregiver is the expert on their own child. Healing from trauma, the science of repair. What happens when early experience is heard instead of help? Many of the children we see have experienced trauma, parental separation or divorce, abuse or neglect, exposure to violence, loss of a caregiver. These experiences can manifest as aggression or hyperactivity, difficulty sleeping, speech or motor delays, withdrawal or anxiety. But here's the good news: young children are incredibly resilient. With the right support, their brains and hearts can heal. Our trauma-informed approach focuses on re-establishing safety and predictability, strengthening the caregiver-child relationship, helping caregivers understand and respond to trauma behaviors, building coping skills through play, routine, and connection. We don't just manage behaviors, we uncover the why beneath them, and we give families the tools to help their children feel safe, connected, and strong. The power of play. A child's first language. Play is more than fun, it's fundamental. Children express their feelings, solve problems, and explore the world through play. That's why it's the cornerstone of our therapeutic approach. We use play-based techniques such as child-led interaction, symbolic play for processing trauma, structured games for building attention and impulse control, sensory play for regulation and body awareness. In every playroom session, our goal is to strengthen the parent-child bond, increase emotional expression, support developmental milestones, reduce stress and build joy. When a child plays, they are doing the work of healing. And when a parent joins that play with love and attunement, the results are profound. From crisis to confidence, real family stories. The Thompsons' journey. Their 2-year-old daughter was fighting at daycare and wouldn't sleep through the night. The stress was straining their marriage. After 3 months of support, their daughter's behavior improved, and the parents reported feeling more connected and confident. Single mom, big breakthrough. A young mother raising her son alone reached out after noticing developmental delays. Through play therapy and parent coaching, her son began speaking full sentences within months, and she began to trust herself as a mother. Foster family healing. A 3-year-old boy placed in foster care after witnessing domestic violence began lashing out at his new caregivers. Our team provided trauma-focused therapy and attachment support, building a future where all children thrive. Our vision is bold but simple: a world where every child has the mental and emotional foundation to thrive. To achieve that, we must expand early intervention funding, advocate for mental health screenings at every pediatric visit, train more infant mental health providers, reduce stigma around parenting struggles, make care accessible in every community. The McCrory Center is proud to be part of that movement. But we can't do it alone. Join the movement. Healing early minds isn't just a job. It's a calling. It's a promise to protect childhood, to empower parents, and to create communities where every child can grow with confidence. If you believe that babies and toddlers deserve mental health care, if you believe that parenting support should be universal, not elite, if you believe that no child should be invisible or ignored, then join us. Share this message. Support our work. Refer a family. Advocate in your community. Together, we can change the way the world sees early childhood. Together, we can make healing the standard, not the exception. This is the McCrory Center. This is Healing Early Minds.